Hello guys and welcome to the ProDota Cup by Smashcast TV. We have a smashing match here. That's the last one of the day. A best of 3 between the Peruvians of Elite Wolf and the Americans of Will Wreck while whistling. This is close to the winner brackets finals. Whoever wins this actually gets to classify themselves to the winners brackets finals and fight for that place in the final. This is actually the second match of the best of 3 of the ProDota Cup American version, sponsored by XBet. Of course, guys, if you guys want to check out some of the live betting side with favorable odds and bet on your favorite ProDota Cup teams, feel free to check out XBet and use code BOUNTYX to get a free €100 deposit. That said, guys, look into the game. We all wreck while whistling. Win game number 1, minute 21. Pretty consistent game plan by them. Absolutely destroy Elite Wolves with a draft strat that isn't even that effective. Actually, just win with the TA itself. So, you know, you just pick the TA again and win. And that worked wonderfully for We All Wreck while whistling, even if Elite Wolves won the lane in the mid lane pretty decently with Papita's puck. Let's see what happens in the second game. My name is DSwordfish. I'll be your cast for today, and as always, joined by Vätte Dota. How are you doing, my friend?
Hello everyone, and from side of Elite Wolves, we saw 2 first bans, Crystal Maiden and Shadow Shaman, to secure that Night Stalker will get a lot of ganking potential early on in the game. There won't be that much heroes with a decent lockdown, so he'll be able to get kills fairly easily. Also, they pick up Dazzle for a lane sustain. I expected that they got some kind of a cheesy plan with picking up Husker, but Will Wreck while whistling also felt it, banned this hero out, and probably we will see another combination with from sort of Elite Wolves, maybe the minus armor strat, or something like with the Tur blade, or maybe just a common pushing one with Doxia and Dazzle. Fairly interesting. And pickups are very strong heroes. Night Stalker with Doxia most likely will start out in the dual offlane to create a lot of problems for the safe lane of Will Wreck while whistling. Plus, Dazzle is a very decent position 5 support. He is managing to zone out most of the offlaners solo with the poison touch. It's not that big of a deal for him, especially if there'll be any kind of rotations from side of Will. He will always get a TP, Grave, and Heal ready, so Elite Wolves got all the potential to turn the fights in their favor. From side of a Will, we already see Sanking and Tusk plus Venomancer. I believe that Venom is going to be played as a carry in this game. It's a Venomancer for KVH. Sanking and Tusk doesn't seem that of a strong dual support lane, so I guess Sanking will be left alone on the top, and they will get some kind of a position 5, yeah, and Tusk will remain on 4, try to roam around. But they need to pick up heroes which are fairly good with ganks. Queen of Pain got banned out, Death Prophet also was fairly interesting from their side. Most likely we will see maybe Lina. I'm not sure, like, Will Wreck while whistling very like Invoker, but maybe something a little bit earlier. Necrophos. And does it really mean that it's going to be an offlane Necro? I'm a little bit confused because they played both by Dota the 2 and KVH in both carry and offlane positions. Yeah, Venomancer was played by the KVH mostly, but how they lay in the rest of the heroes?
I mean, the Necrophos could easily be going offlane heroes. The Tusk can go for a dual offlane that's quite efficient to go with Necrophos, so you can leave Venomancer in the lane for the most part alone. So it's one of those carries that you can allow the rotation by your 2 supports. However, having two melee supports is pretty risky. So maybe Venomancer is the idea is to go mid lane, offlane, Sanking, carry Necrophos, and that's the idea because I mean, two melee supports, even with a Tusk combination, seems a bit risky, especially against Dazzle and Night Stalker. Darkseer, actually, 3 heroes that do really well against melee heroes. But we'll see how they lane it. They do have a lot of magical damage to begin with. Necrophos is pretty good, decent in the offlane against what Elite Wolves is running, but Necrophos doesn't do that well against the Iron Shield creeps, unless you, especially if you have a Night Stalker joining in, that could be a real doozy if KVH says to run him in the carry lane. Elite Wolves now need to pick up 2 more cores, assuming Dark Night Stalker and Dazzle are both in, yeah, they have to be mid, supports. And now Puck for Papita a second time. TA is still available. Please ban that just in case, as they just I mean, Papita won the lane against TA for the most part, but I think that you might want to get rid of that a second time just in case. You know, the Venomancer could easily go in the... Actually, Venomancer can play any position. We've even seen him offlane. Yeah. So is Necrophos. And you can run Sanking and Tusk supports and still run a TA, which gives you a lot of pushing power and is decent against a lot of these heroes as well.
Yeah, that's true. Though from side of Elite Wolves there is a lot of kiting potential, plus Surge, plus Ion Shells, plus Graves, plus minus armor, and Actually, for them, the minus armor will matter, but the additional armor for themselves, and he won't be able to deal with it that easily. Poison touch, getting rid of his fractures fairly fast.
Wow, silence.
Same goes with the Doxia Iron Shells. Silencer is an interesting ban, but they're heavily relying on their casts in the middle of the fight. Imagine which kind of a disaster will happen for them if they jump in the fight, and there will be a global silence, and then they get Necro ult, Poison over in their face plus Epicenter. Not the thing you can really deal with, yet they're lacking a heavy right click. What may be the option? We saw something like Puck and Ursa fairly a lot, maybe Troll, something like this. But maybe they will surprise us with something new.
I do like the Ursa pick here a lot. Easy diffusal blade picker. Troll is okay, but, well, both of them are actually quite good. You could even go for a Huskar. Oh, no, bad. Never mind. Yeah, I was gonna say, but the Ursa is really good here. The Morphling was not expecting whatsoever. Actually, a really interesting pickup against Necrophos. By morphing strength, you usually are able to outweigh the Scythe. It's not that effective. Typical Linken's picker. Damage over time is horrendous against Morphling in general, because you can just, morph strength. It's not that big a deal. Most of Wheel Record Wolfling has kind of damage over time to some degree. Only person that has burst damage per se is Tusk and Necrophos, and even Necrophos doesn't really have the burst damage per se, unless you go for a Dagon build, and the E-Blade can destroy Venomancer and Necrophos, both of which are very, very weak against magical damage. On top of that, you also get the combination of physical and magical damage, really good in combination with your team, because Darkseer plus Waveform in the early game can deal a lot of damage, and of course that Shallow Grave to allow you to morph into Agility, like be super offensive for 5 seconds, is insanely effective. And Wheel, of course, the last pick here, Bloodseeker.
In the mid lane.
Wow, okay, alright,
Well, that's one of the, can't say guaranteed, but that's a silence for Morphling.
That is a silence for
Nice.
Morphling, yeah, but the chances of Morphling being caught by that silence is really low.
Well,
like, you have to keep him stunned.
Also. Yeah, that's true, but when you pick up Bloodseeker, so with the Rupture, both heroes who rely heavily on moving around from sort of Elite Rules, there's a Night Stalker and Doxia, yeah, they won't have that much over freedom for them. Poison Nova works out amazingly well with Bloodseeker, buffing him insanely well, a lot of damage over time with Necrophos plus Epicenter. There are a lot of AoE spells for them, so Bloodseeker will be fairly strong in almost every single team fight. For them on the mid lane, he got a lot of sustain. If anyone drops low, he got all the chances to run away from Night Stalker. Puck won't annoy him that much because Puck relies heavily on harassing his opponent and last hitting in the same time with the Illusory Orb. For Bloodseeker, he got a constant sustain, yeah, with his Blood Rage. Plus, it works out fairly nice. I'm not sure about the interaction between the Blood Rage and Necro Ulti, for example.
Well, you amplify the damage of the Necro Ultimate. So that should be an interesting thing, actually. I'd be able to kill the Morphling. It's a pretty ridiculous thing. Especially because Morphling usually will always have strength missing, or sorry, HP missing of some sort. Yeah. Even if you morph strength, you don't actually cure yourself of anything, because Morphling is not naturally cured. That's good. I mean, the E-Blade can be really powerful, though, against a Bloodseeker in general, because he usually only has one source of damage, Bloodright not being that great. It might be a Bloodseeker, actually, that goes for a Yule Scepter build. That might be really good. Great setup for the Bloodright. Easy to stop the Replicate with a Yule Scepter as well, because you Yule Scepter him and then Burst Strike him as soon as he comes down. Not that hard to run off. And Yule Scepter also stops DPs, which is obviously the best way for a Puck, for example, or a Darkseer or Night Stalker. All three pretty tanky heroes to evade a Bloodseeker in general, and not have to waste against that Rupture. Yeah, well, actually, the Bloodseeker pick I like. In general, that Morphling pick is really good for Elite Wolves. It's actually a really clever pickup, considering what they had. But against a Bloodseeker, it's going to have a tougher time, especially if Annihilate does decide to go for the right build, per se. However, against Papita in lane, Puck is a burst damage hero, Bloodseeker suffers a lot against him, and Illusory Orb is a pretty low cooldown spell, especially if you max it first, which is what he's going to do for sure. And that means that the Blood Rage gets activated the second the Puck sees you with a bit of red on you, boom. It throws Illusory Orb onto you, and you probably lose a lot of HP, which you can recover, but it's not ideal for you, of course.
Yeah. Also, at least it's some Jackie potential, though I'm not sure, not that much of a lockdown from their side, but the same goes for Elite Wolves. They don't actually have a single reliable stun early on. Of course, they got a mini stun Void to cancel TPs, yeah, but no legit lockdown until the level 6 on Puck with his Dream Coil. yeah, or Vacuum on level, I think. Well, it depends on when Doxy will take it, but it's also not a very reliable one.
No,
Morphling
no,
also not the one who is killing Adaptive Strike early on in the game.
And even so, an agility morphling, I mean, you'll never have more strength and agility to initiate that. That could happen, but it's just not, unless you're playing support morphling, it's just not going to happen. So, it's definitely not reliable stun either. I agree. You might even want to max poison touch. We've seen that build before to get an extra stun, but even that's not that great as a stun, so just a 1 second stun anyway. Yeah, actually, the Bloodseeker might be able to run rampant. It's going to depend on the lanes. If Wheel wins the lanes, they just get a huge advantage. The Elite Wolves doesn't have too many recovery mechanisms. However, the whole point of this is you have a Night Stalker and a Puck. Chances of you losing the lanes, and a Darkseer as well. Chances of you losing the lanes are pretty low, right? Against, say, Bloodseeker, Venomancer, Necrophos. We'll see. It's all up to execution. And they're even running an aggressive Trident, which I love. KVH aggressive dual lane for now with the Tusk. You get a Venomous Gale, 2-2-2 build, pretty effective against most everything. Madmen can even join you, and the Snowball plus Burrow Strike is a lethal combo in the early game that makes up for the lack of range in the Burrow Strike in general. And of course, the Necrophos can easily fight against Darkseer in the bottom lane if there's no help from a Night Stalker.
What's actually I really like from Side of a Wheel that when you're playing against Dazzle, he wants to have any kind of supports who can annoy him as much as possible, and they got two who are getting super close to him immediately, almost it's Tusk and Sanking. So Dazzle will have a tough choice here. He will either prioritize graving himself and save his own life, or sacrificing himself and graving his teammate in the very last moment possible, so they will get a lot of control over Dazzle, but it doesn't feel like Iron Elite will have the best time on the mid lane. Yet finally turn to men here. Yet the killing potential is better for Elite, it feels like, due to the mobility of Puck and decent burst with illusory ult. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, that's actually interesting that they are putting Doxy against Necrophos on the top lane and running Dazzle plus Morphling against Tusk. That's an interesting decision.
Oh, yeah. At the end, the KVH, yeah, in the bottom lane against the Morphling. So he wants to... Right, so I think the idea is they don't want to make Morphling go against Venomancer, because Venomancer was originally in top, but now, of course, they changed their lanes, and Wheel's just trying to say, no, Venomancer is going to fight your Morphling in the early game, because Morphling has one of the weakest laning stages in the game. Only waveform being a nuke is not too powerful. Now, Madman, careful, Illusory Orb, stopping him down. Ooh, Illusory Orb is missed, and Papita's suffering a lot of damage himself. Right, like I said... The Morphling can be easily harassed in the early game. He's like a Slark, essentially. He gets really good mid-game, but not a good early game at all, because you don't even know what to do with your stats, because you can't morph enough because of your lack of mana. Your Adaptive Strike is absolutely worthless, and your waveform is more of an escape mechanism, and also your damage, which is probably the worst thing to have combined into one. And there they go. Trying to kill KVH. Look at him morphing. Derp a bit late on here, and since there was no Ice Shards, E-Wolves took advantage of this and took an early game kill. That's why Peruvian teams are known for the laning phase. Pretty good, honestly. I wasn't expecting this at all from Morphling.
Well, even though Morphling doesn't have the greatest early game, as you already mentioned before, there are two ranged heroes, slow from Dazzle plus sustain with the Shadow Wave. Morphling avoiding Venomous Gale, for example, with the waveform deals a lot of damage. His right clicks are pretty heavy, and he got Dazzle to keep him alive on the lane. And Venomancer doesn't have that much of a attack range, so he especially, and also he is very slow in the very beginning, so it is easy to catch up to him, especially with the Poison Touch from Dazzle. So Venomancer is probably one of the easiest kills. Meanwhile, on the mid lane, they keep on annoying Iron Elite. Yet they're committing two men on mid lane, and the Bloodseeker is doing almost as good as Puck.
Well, I mean, another consideration here to be made is also the fact that the Morphling itself, level 1, is a bit better than... Venomancer, sorry, himself, level 1 is not really that powerful. Even if you go for the typical build nowadays, you really... To stop the Morphling, or to punish him, you would have to go for a 1-1-3 build and max the Plague Wards, which is not even the traditional build anyway, just to really hurt Shaq. Because there's the idea that if he plays offensively, essentially using offensive waveform, you punish him entirely by the Plague Wards just barraging him with damage. And that's a good idea, but it's not going to happen until they get a couple levels, which is why KVH really desperately needs those levels early on, and the supports are not staying in the lane too much. And as going for Masoku, no Shallow Grave available. They might even be able to kill him. Madman coming in. They can't kill him in time, though, as Madman doesn't have enough of a range on his Burrow Strike. Doesn't want to dive Dazzle entirely under his tower, but Madman still eyeing the objective. Might have been a good play. Instead goes to steal the bounty room. Not a bad idea either.
KVH actually is in a dangerous position. There is a waveform available, but Dazzle is too far with his poison touch. Right clicks are not enough. His Shack is completely out of mana. There is no mana for Grave though on Dazzle. 7 magic stick charges. Need to be much more careful. He still got his healing self. The Venomancer actually got 4 iron branches.
Burst from behind, and that's a dead Morphling. Great Ice Shards. Madman came out of unexpectedly nowhere. He rescinded this bounty room, saying, I don't want it. I just want to kill on the Morphling instead. That was a good play. Yep.
Even though they were relying heavily on a sustain from Morphling with Dazzle, KVH prepared for the top lane with a lot of regen and Iron Branches. Already finished his magic one, so he's ready for the poison touch spam. Stinger is out of mana, so I'm not sure if they really can annoy Bloodseeker. He's already running around on 500 movement speed, and you know what's actually fairly fun when you're running Bloodseeker in the mid lane and you got some kind of an aggressive lane. So Doxy managed to survive on 80 HP. When the fights are constantly happening on the lane, it's such a pain for Puck to stand on the mid. Yeah, especially if you got some kind of a tri lane against a dual lane or tri lane where constant fights are happening and all the characters are fairly low on HP. Bloodseeker is turning into an unstoppable machine for whomever, like it's a huge threat for whomever is laning against him.
That is true, but that is actually a very good point. Nightlight's been doing. We haven't really checked in this lane because the kills are actually happening bottom, and we see Masoku go down. Shallow Grave, is there time for it? One more hit, come on, before the Shallow Grave comes out, and Wheel gets a second kill. Congratulations on finding Shaco. That's the idea. At least Burst Strike available as his magic stick still there, but he won't be able to kill him in time. Annihilate. And meanwhile, in the middle lane, again, this is what we were talking about earlier. He always uses the thirst, trying to harass the Puck. It's very obvious they knew this was happening, and Pepita this time prepared for it, making sure it was nighttime and Stinger can join him in, punishing that Blood Rage and that extra damage that Bloodseeker gets dealt. So, good play there by Elite Wolves. They saw 2 support rotations down to the bottom lane, took advantage of this, and punished a hero that's not particularly the best at running away. Now, go to the 2 in the top lane, also being harassed, but no, Night Stalker, too far in. Should have waited for the Iron Shield first.
There was actually a vision of Night Stalker for INA late. No, actually, never mind. There was a freshly placed one. But the problem is on that minute 5 when shrines are up, it's both. Whoa, that's a very interesting rupture on Pepita, I must admit.
Pepita is almost like he didn't notice. It's like, guys, I really want this rune. Where's the rune?
Oh,
do they see him?
No, that's actually disaster. Yeah, they see him. Now he's using the shrine. Shrine is forced.
What is this next level play? First a rupture on a TPing Puck, and then the Puck like kind of baits them for a rotation. This is beyond my comprehension. And now they want to sacrifice the courier. Finally, E-Wolves like, nah, let's not kill our courier. And they rotate down bottom. Mad Ming even joining in of his rune. So the objective is Masoku. Should be pretty easy. Masoku hasn't used Shallow Grave just yet. Mad Ming will surprise him with the Invis rune. They know where he is. They have a ward. Oh, seems like they want to kill the courier instead. Maybe not the best of options. Masoku finally found out. Where's the Shallow Grave? No time for it. Oh, wow. Where's this Burst Strike? This is going to make him waste a Shallow Grave, and now Burst Strike comes a second later. And Derpter might lose his life because of this. What? Okay. Mad Ming now keeping himself up in that sandstorm. KVH doesn't want to die. Use the Plague Wards. Blocks the entrance. Really smart. It's only level 1 Plague Wards though, so that only takes a second. KVH running around the sandstorm. Try not to receive any extra damage. There's another Plague Ward for kicks and giggles. And the Magic Stick should be able to give him another Burst Strike. He's available. Mad Ming can still fight this. They were baiting for a really long time. Now they catch the Morphling though. The Dazzles comes here with the Shadow Wave. Shack is regening a lot of health thanks to that Morphling as well. And he's going to survive thanks to the waveform. Stinger, meanwhile, being chased down. Poison Sting is the only slow they have. Stinger might be able to survive this. Will be able to survive this. As he has the face boots and just runs away. What a weird engagement on all fronts.
Yeah, that's true. But I actually spent a little bit of time thinking about the Bloodseeker rupture on Puck, and that's actually very smart. If Pepita is tipping somewhere, probably on the tri-lane against KVH. So, he wants to go for a kill. And if he wants to go for a kill, but he is ruptured, he is forced to waste his precious time and lose the moment of rotation. Huh? That's the next level thinking.
Oh, that
by
could have
been.
Yeah, I understand that. I still don't really understand Pepita's play of I'm going to show myself in thirst and then go really close to a rune that obviously did not spawn because it's minute 6. I was more questioning Pepita. That rupture to some degree is kind of makes sense. It is a low cooldown spell, so abusing it is not even that big a deal. I was more talking about that modem engagement, really. Where there was just, like, Mad Ming looked at Dazzle in the eye and didn't Burst Strike him, waited for the Shallow Grave, like, okay, now I go.
Yeah.
That was a bit weird. When you could have just Burst Striked him to begin with and just gotten that rid of. But anyway, I think they lost a Tusk because of that failed Burst Strike, because the Snowball was not needed at all, but oh well.
Oh, Korea, maybe sniped, I thought.
Okay, there's a snowball. They find Masoku. Come on, Burst Strike. They find him a second time. Good job. Venomous Gale misses the Morphling. There's the Rupture. And the Rupture was actually for Stinger. That's the objective. In goes the Puck. And they kill the Venomancer already. Puck dealing a lot of damage. Papita, will he get silenced? No, he evades it with Phase Shift. The Burst Strike also misses. Papita has just tricked everyone here. And he'll be able to Illusory Orb himself away as if nothing happened. The guys from Wheel are very stressed out. They want to kill Stinger. They slow him down with a Ghost Shroud. And Reaper's Sight not going to be committed. Finally committed, but he's too far away. He didn't actually tell his team that he was using it. Annihilate, thirsting for this kill. Might be able to get it, but no healing onto him. Shaq comes in with a waveform. They stun him out a second time. Annihilate gets that kill, and the Puck is just a bit too late. Papita can't get that final hit with Illusory Orb. Meanwhile, Madman chasing after Masoku. He's really low on HP, and so is on mana. Can't use the Burst Strike to save himself. Masoku, the Shallow Grave fighting against 3, will still commit his life to this. And Papita is the only surviving member of Elite Wolves. Another chaotic team fight that goes, I think, in favor of Wheel, I want to say. I think that was in favor of Wheel.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they almost didn't lose.
So they lost they lost Venomancer
Sanking.
Sanking. Yeah, so one more. one more in favor of Wheel there. Not really that big a deal, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, and what was the problem for them? That Shaq keeps on dying in almost every single fight. Well, same goes for Venomancer, but I think that Morphling relies on the early snowball much more than Venom. Also, Venom got a decent farming potential. He can catch up easily. Oh, Shaq.
Morphling.
Ruptured. Here comes the Suns. There's no mana or no support from whoever, so Papita also defends his teammate. Yeah. 4-on-1.
Okay, Madman, careful. He wants to fight. Walks in, Sandstorm, guys, cool. Alright, there's nothing else to be done. Yep. Madman feels satisfied with the Sandstorm, walks away. And now in comes Stinger, from behind. They might meet each other. Madman meets Stinger, and he's met with a fist. There comes the Courier. Tome of Experience, that's Darkness, available for Night Stalker. Uses immediately Stinger next level plays. He was waiting for that Darkness, tries to chase Madman, but doesn't have enough speed to match a Tranquil Boot Sanking. Unfortunate. Well, in the mid lane, or near the shrine, Masoku has decided to give himself up to the gods. And that's going to be another kill for Dota 2. Alright, cool. That just happened. Let's see. Can they... I mean, these plays, these rotations are very interesting. I think both teams have an idea in mind, but they're actually playing in very similar mindsets. And are just fighting, you know, these weird skirmishes that don't really benefit... Actually, no, they really do benefit Wheel in these skirmishes. Because they have 2 heroes that don't need that much farm. Like you said, the Morphling does rely on the snowballing much more. Puck also relies on getting core items, especially a Veil of Discord Puck. Needs much more gold to get that blink tag, which is very important. Even Darkseer to some degree relies on core items, getting that mechanism at a good timing. Whereas Bloodseeker and Venomancer both are heroes that really skill well on spells, and though they like items, they don't need them as much. Now Papita, Illusory Orb, won't lose any HP to that Rupture, and he's safe from all damage. That's why you don't Rupture a Puck, it's really hard to kill him. And then we'll... then we'll see the Veil of Discord from Papita used against Dota 2. Here's the objective in Dota 2. Not entirely sure if he wants to fight this or not. And from behind, ooh, Stinger got caught out. Snowball only had one person. Could have grabbed Madman. Meanwhile, Madman, ooh, Stinger actually TP's in time. Madman won't be burst striking him anytime soon. And with that, the guys from Elite Wolves won't lose Stinger a second time there. Darkness did get committed, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, it's just nighttime. Okay.
Well, it feels like there wasn't a single organized fight, properly organized fight from both teams. They're actually just running around.
Mid lane. Yeah, Papita Illusory Orbs himself away. That was... Are they not committing to this? Okay, they're not.
Yeah.
They just don't want it. They want to take the tower, but of course the tower is in die range right now. And I think they're just going to wait for the enemy team to attack it. It's a really good TP spot, so you don't really want to waste it too soon.
Yeah. That's true, but finally there's a double Iron Shell for some of the Elite Wolves. Maybe they will try to go for a kill. Bloodseeker may be the target, but they don't have much of a lockdown. Masoku with Observer Wards, placing it on a high ground, I guess, to see any kind of rotations on the top lane. Yet Shaq dropping fairly low and burning so hard to this poison plus Veil of Discord.
And Dorpter is actually from behind using Ice Shard Snowball, could even kill him, finds Masoku instead. And we also see a Rupture from behind, finding Night Stalkers. There's 2 fights happening at the same time. The objective is Masoku. Ice Shards closes him in. He can't use Hello Grip in time. They actually kill him off with the ultimate. Stinger, meanwhile, is bleeding everywhere. He tries to fly away, but there's blood, and Annihilate smells it. The TP is not yet available. Dorpter will try to kill him off, but there's no stun on him, so Stinger should be able to TP away safely. However, they do kill the Lazo, and they healed the other two entirely with that Scythe of Vice, or sorry, Reaper Scythe kill. And now they try to take a tower using the Plague Wards efficiently. Plague Wards in 2 positions, really clever Plague Ward positioning to get all the little juke routes and all the special TP spots away. And I don't know if he's trying to make a triangle at this point. It's just pretty. Yeah, this just sending him in very different positions so they cover all spots. That's pretty good.
Yep. But sadly for Elite Wolves, Papita didn't get his Blink Dagger yet, or fights could have been much better for them. Also for Wheel, it was like, it's much more simple to execute a fight properly from their side. Okay. There is not that much of a kind of a secret behind how to fight properly. Meanwhile, Masoko almost being silenced. Annihilate takes the first tower in the game. Blade Mail, first item on Bloodseeker.
You don't see this as often, but against a Morphling is actually a really good idea. He's a very offensive hero. Either he runs away with Replicate or he fights you. He doesn't really have an intermediate, where he just kind of starts running away with waveform and stuff. Usually tries to fight you off, and now there's Stinger, bleeding everywhere. Flies away. Will he have time? He flies away from the Blood Right, but they realize this is too far, and they end up killing Stinger with just 1 hit from Annihilate. Veil, sorry, the Vacuum, plus Dream Coil, now the wall as well. Annihilate tries to TP in the middle of this. Will he survive? Not with a waveform. Mad Ming, though, sandstorming in between 4 heroes and somehow still alive. They have a lot of area damage. Mad Ming will be destroyed by the Waning Rift. I mean, yeah, wow. That Sanking eventually had to die. And Wheel do lose a bit of an advantage there, especially losing the Bloodseeker so early, but I guess, yeah, in exchange for a Stinger kill was not that worth it.
It was fairly interesting that he goes for Mjolnir after Blade Mail. That's an interesting pickup. Meanwhile, Masoko on the bottom lane was raising his hands, but got buried by Necrophos immediately. And Stinger annoys Necrophos a little bit, yet there is not that many possibilities for them. Dream Coil is not up, Papita is fairly far, yet they committed a lot of people on the bot lane, and you expect some kind of an early Lincoln Sphere or shotgun or anything on Morphling, yet he's in the middle of a net worth chart, feeling even, well, almost as bad as KVH, I must admit. Both carries are doing fairly bad in this game, not because they are playing bad, but because they're getting shut down quite heavily. So I guess it's all about the mid laners, at least for now. But I believe in Venomancer catching up in farm much easier than Morphling, to be honest, even though he got his waveform with Plague Wards. You can farm stacks, ancient, literally anything without committing too much except for your mana, literally. And Morphling, when he's farming, unless it is some kind of a minor stack, he is losing his HP, also buffing Bloodseeker, and may show Will where he's farming. Meanwhile, on top lane, they're jumping on Bloodseeker.
Yeah, Blade Mail won't save him too much. Madman comes in, actually doesn't burst strike anyone. He's been vacuumed, Madman. Trying to walk away as a magic stick still available, and TPs, they don't have any stuns, so he could just TP there, but Mad Ming knows there's too much damage, wants to burst strike himself away. That strike catches him, and the TP did not complete. With that, Elite Wolves get another kill, and it seems like Wheel won't be too lucky about this engagement.
The burst is insane from side of Elite Wolves now, with the buck and the waveform. They're also pretty evasive. Masoko grants them additional survivability. Yet it feels like Will wants to take a bite.
Well, that's Snowball. They want to kill Masoko for sure. Ice Shards close him in. Masoko knows he might just die. Shellgrave used a bit preemptively. Used the weave as well. And Masoko just accepts death as it comes to him in the form of a skull. That finishes him off. Elite Wolves just leave. I mean, there's no need to keep on fighting this. And we'll get another one of those small kills that don't really mean anything.
Yeah, that's true. What's the plus for Elite Wolves that Morphling participated in all these fights and actually didn't die in the last couple of minutes? Yet Mad Ming realized that Dara may jump on Annihilate in the mid lane, but Papita still got his Dream Coil plus Blink plus Veil of Discord. That's a lot of damage. So Mad Ming is backing up his teammate. Bloodseeker level 12. His turn on Papita, I guess. Oh, Annihilate, do you really want to be here? That's the question.
Oh, careful, silenced up. They go into Stinger, they almost kill him. Shallow to save him. Dream call into 4. Apita fights with a lot of damage, but takes damage from the Playmail himself. And for now, nobody from Wheel has died. Here's the Snowball, finds Stinger, and they punch him up. They see Reaper Scythe. Yes, they do. Enough damage. No, Stinger survives all these bursts like to finish him off finally. But all this commitment is to kill one person. They need more. Papita's the objective, but he has haste rune, and he will survive. Maybe even kill the courier. Papita, come on, be cheeky. Nah. Not gonna commit to it. In fact, Bloodseeker almost finds him, or sorry, Madman almost finds him, but they decide to just let him go in the end.
They committed quite a lot from both sides, yet trade was in favor of Wheel. Necrophos level 13, Neck, Foot of Defiance, a lot of sustain. Also, I guess they really need it. There's a lot of magical damage and burst all unknown from the side of
Oh, Papita, careful.
Yeah, Papita. He still got his blink attack. Oh, that's a fairly risky job.
Yeah, vacuum to bring him back. They seem to want to fight this. Papita, can they burst strike him away? Though they can't. Snowball coming in, but not in time. That Snowball will not find him. That's unfortunate. He could have tried to get Mad Ming or KVH, and it was impossible. It was a really hard play. Regardless, at least they'll take a tier 2 tower top.
Yeah, they can do it, I believe. And question is, will Elite Wolves even contest? For this, they got almost all their spells up. Papita already rotates theirs, and we will see Doxy. Doxy almost completed his Guardian Graves, but instead he goes for Blink Tag, even more initiation and teamfight potential. No, that's a sweet spot for Dream Coil. They're grouping up fairly heavily.
Oh, silence, destroyed this Bloodseeker, vacuum to finish him off. He can't really do much. KVH himself stuck in between 3, and he doesn't even have enough mana for that Poison Nova just yet. Finally gets it with a Magic Stick, might want to use it. Hits Papita and Darkseer as the counter initiation. With the help of Mad Meng, he might be able to get a kill on Darkseer, but he's lasting a long time. Mad Meng is the next objective. That Sandstorm Soul, annoying as they don't have any detection. And in the mid lane, we see a Reaper Scythe, finds the Morphling. The objective is to stop his TP. Shaq can't really fight this, and there's 2 fights going on at the same time. One with the other 2 is just trying to eliminate Shaq, and the other one in the top lane where they finally retired. So Wheel just making sure that nobody dies but the Bloodseeker.
Well, the problem for them is Elite Wolves are playing this very smart. They burst down Bloodseeker as soon as possible. With this, a major part of damage from the side of Wheel is also dying out. And Bloodseeker is not scaling from anyone dropping low from Poison Nova and Necro in the fight. And he is... I'm still surprised. Why not go some kind of a BKB probably? Yet he goes for a solo kill on Stinger.
Yeah,
he's accepted his fate.
Oh, even Blade Mails before the Void came, just to make sure that he killed himself, yeah. What can you really do? Stinger's a really easy target for Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker does benefit a lot from kills, and he's not the fastest farmer. He's even going for Maelstrom, like you mentioned. So.
Yeah, well, even though he wants to catch up in farm, maybe there's no point in go straight for Mjolnir later on. Get some kind of a survivability for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, the Blade Mail's already a good survivability, no? To some degree.
Yeah, but, like, he's been bursted down with a lot of magical damage, as we saw previously, in a matter of seconds. BKB grants him the freedom to run wherever he wants to, really. So, they're catching up. Here comes the vacuum and the wall.
There's a silence, Dream Call, they find the Bloodseeker. Bloodright has trigger onto the puck, but he's gonna go down anyway. Masoku being hit by that little... What was it? The Death Pulse now being hit by the Reaper Scythe, destroyed as well by Wheel, but again, they trade a Bloodseeker for Masoku, who's just been dying consistently. I mean, he's really good at consistently dying, but that's not really giving any gold to the enemy team anyway, so the guys from Elite Wolves are happy to make these trades.
Yeah. And finally, Morph is on top of a net worth. He participated in a lot of successful fights, was farming alone, completed his Lincoln Sphere. So Necrophos is not big of a threat. Meanwhile, Derp tries to save himself. Actually succeeding in it. Wow! Dazzle is impressed. God damn, I wish I got this snowball too. I think he regrets that he got a shallow grave. Not that efficient as a snowball, doesn't save that well. Yeah. And with this pickup of Lincoln Sphere, Necrophos is not a threat. You just...
well, there's a lot of ways to stop it, though. Like in this game, with the Blood Rage especially, and some degree the Snowball can also stop it pretty easily. Earn as well. They have a couple ways to deal with it. Force Staff probably on KVH whenever it comes out. In fact, KVH is going for an Aghanim build. Wow, he is really wanting to win the game early. We'll see what what the Elite Wolves do, because here there's a smoke and they want to go on KVH, but ooh, that's a really well positioned Frozen Sigil. Detects the smoke, stops the initiation completely. That's a waste of smoke, but KVH wants to... No, he still wants to fight, but not going to be punished for these bad positioning at the Venomancer. Actually, might even get a kill here. Masoko using the poison touch a bit too early. Stinger again hit with a rupture. And the objective is to go into Masoko. Annihilate quite fast. Trying to kill Masoko. They hit with reverse sight. Night Stalker's dead. And now it's time for this Bloodseeker to destroy him. Snowball's available. No need for it. Punched up. Masoko will go down with broken bones. And Wheel can proceed to taking the tier 2s.
Finally, when Bloodseeker is not dying and Elite Wolves are not initiating first, Will are succeeding fairly a lot. That's actually interesting with the Aghanim Scepter on Venomancer, yet I think that it's the playstyle of Will all in all. Most of the cases they are playing on Annihilate, try to boost him as much as they can. It's like a similar situation as in the previous game when they used Draw to boost TA in the mid lane. Now, with a lot of AoE damage and Venomancer in particular, they grant a lot of burst buffs for Bloodseeker, so he can run around and destroy everyone from side of Elite Wolves.
That is true. It's actually a really good combination. Venomancer in general benefits from Blood Rage as well, so he deals more damage even. Bloodseeker gets more thirst, and you don't really need items as much. You're going for attack speed, so it's clear to him, well, at least the Elite Wolves and to the viewers and to everyone, that he's relying on that thirst damage to add damage to him. Whereas the attack speed from the Mjolnir, which is going for first, will help him, make up for that lack of agility, even though his stacking is pretty good in general. And with this, Annihilate is kind of hoping to just snowball out of... Well, not really snowball out of control, but snowball as the team fight goes on. Especially with the long team fights that someone like Necrophos with healing and, again, area damage allows you to do. Now, Annihilate finds a Rupture. Darkseer, what is he really going to do? Yep, surge yourself away in a Rupture. Tries to TP a bit too late, realizes his mistake, and Annihilate destroys him. Either way, really precise with his air to stop the TP, so it's not like it would have made much of a difference, honestly. Yeah, that's a dead Dazzle illusion. Yep.
No more replica for Morphling, but while they were killing Masoko and Oxy and Stinger all the time, Morphling was farming. And now, soon, he will complete his shotgun, and that's sad news. Well, is it actually a sad news? So the only target which can be boosted, and will be boosted fairly easily, I think it's Bloodseeker. He got no defensive mechanism, and he is the target #1 for Elite Wolves in every single fight. But, for example, if you want to use shotgun to defend yourself somehow, it may be a very, very, very bad idea from against the lineup of Will. So I'm afraid that shotgun will have only offensive use.
And even offensive, if you use it on the Bloodseeker, since the projectile's quite slow, you might just kill yourself with a Blade Mail. So
yeah,
it's a lot of combination of abilities that Wheel actually has to stop a shotgun Morphling. They did itemize. They didn't pick against the Morphling, but they itemized against him, which is quite clever. Now, another illusion by the Dazzle that gets destroyed by the Blood Rite. I don't know why you keep making Dazzle replicates of all people, because they're the least worthy. I suppose we need to just force ultimates out. And the courier goes down.
Dead.
Whose Aghanims is that? Was that the KVHs? Ooh. 3 minutes of that Aghanims. And also, of all the Aghanims, one of the most valuable ones, Papita. King of the match. Winner. GG.
Yeah, that's true. He's playing quite confident, but he's not even getting punished for that. He's being stunned, Burst Strike, but there is only a mad main here. Team abandoned him, and soon we will see a Road of Ages on Necrophos, so life won't be that fun for Papita anymore. He got his Yule Scepter. So it's pretty sweet, get even more survivability. Meanwhile, on the top lane, Morphling goes for a kill on Derp.
Okay, he still has the snowball. It goes... No, what's the objective here? Derp, how do you survive this? As the Urn charges, in comes Annihilate. The objective is to try to survive this a bit. Oh, they break his Lincolns, and they go with a Rupture. Replicate onto the Bloodseeker, trying to get a bit more time. They stun out a bit. They need some sort of silence to stop the Morphling from happening, but this Morphling can still go to place. Is he actually going to TP away? Wow. Shaq. Surprise TP during the waveform. That was a good play there.
Well, I guess if they committed the snowball first to stop Morphling instead of Border Strike, which is easy and fast to get, I think they got a chance of killing Shaq on the top lane. No, instead, Papita pushing the bottom lane and Masoko running around solo. TP's out, there is no stance from side of a Wheel. Let's see what kind of items are already up. The double blink from side of Elite Wolves, one on Puck and one on Darkseer. Pipe of Insight up on Night Stalker. And soon, in a couple of minutes, we'll see Aghanim Scepter on Venomancer, Road of Ages on Necro.
Oh, wait, Epicenter from Mad Meng. He's coming into this burst strike. Where is it? He knows he got cancelled with the Lincolns, and no help from his team means that he can't burst strike Shaq properly, so that's just an Epicenter. Alright, well, that happened. Morphling was
Well, we haven't seen that much Epicenters, though, in this game.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't give you a reason to waste it just for no reason. The objective there was obviously to Blood Rage him and burst strike him and bring him down, and there was a chance to do that, but it was really hard because Annihilate wasn't cooperating there. There was just a bit of a timing issue.
Yeah. And now after completing Mjolnir, he finally goes for BKB, so it'd be harder to burst him down. Additional HP plus magic immunity, always sweet. Yet Necrophos in the mid lane may be a target of aggression. Masoko too far to the poison touch. Yet Papita is killing the creep wave with no fear. Haste rune in the bottle, and next item Lincoln Sphere and smoke, foam and smoke from. And it was. There is no replica available on Shaq, so most likely he won't be able to join the fight that easily.
No. Elite Wolves do decide to go to the bottom lane.
Yeah.
The idea is that it's been scanned out, nothing happened though. Morphling, careful. In goes Mad Ming. He has a Blink Dagger plus a Burrow Strike. Here's the Hood of Defiance. No, okay, no Epicenter, so they can't really defend us safely, and they're just going to lose the tower. In goes Stinger, they're going to find Dota the 2. Also, with the help of the Veil of Discord, Dota the 2, he's been silenced, he can't really do much. Madman comes in, Berserk only on 2-1. Dream Gold to bring him back. Now the wall replica was the vacuum, and they're going to kill Madman first. No Sandstorms to take away some of the damage. Bloodray comes in, and Madman's still alive. Still has Rod of Athos. Oh, Dota the 2! Jesus Christ, going to finally be destroyed by a waning rift, but he lasted a really, really long time. Mjolnir Annihilate now finally gone, and he's going to die as well. Everyone in Wheel is falling like flies. Silenced up Venomancer that can't do anything. Still has no Agonist. Poison Nova to do absolutely nothing against the enemy team. And the shotgun that hits the Tusk in the back and allows Elite Wolves to get the kill they wanted. It's a team wipe for the Peruvian team. And now it's time for a push.
Yeah, with Morphling they can do it fairly easy. So most likely they will lose tier 3 from side of a wheel. I see no point in even buybacking on either Bloodseeker or Venomancer. They can't really do that much. Well, actually, it may be a set of Rexes, to be honest. And that was a very decent team fight from side of the Elite Wolves. The problem for Wheel was the fact that they first initiated, like not got initiated on 2, lost their 2 heroes almost, they dropped fairly low, and after that it's like a so-called feed train when you're going in team fight 1 by 1. It's never a good idea, to be honest, plus another career kill. Aghanim Scepter was not up on Venomancer. It doesn't feel like it would have changed that much, but hey, getting an item 4 minutes ago, or actually 6, and not being able to get it, that's a huge discouragement for poor KVH. He was not having the best game so far, but now it's getting only worse and worse.
Yeah, and after all, Wheel's lineup is much more of a lineup that relies on that early mid-game, right? And now that, especially with that, first of all, that courier snipe was amazing, because taking away the Aghanim's was very important to stop Wheel's offensive potential. And now you're coming to a point where the Morphling has a lot more gold than the rest of your team. He already has his shotgun ready, so he's essentially online. And you also have a Puck that's beating everyone in terms of farm. Somehow Papita doing really well in that farming game. And your team is starting to lag behind because you don't have the farming potential, and you also don't have the carry potential to really go into the late game. You put all your eggs in one hypothetical basket, in this case being the mid-game hypothetical basket, and you're not reaping the results of your actions. With Elite Wolves also having a pretty decent team fight with the Darkseer, your Sand King has been unable to match because Mad Ming has had not the best performance this game, honestly. Those burst strikes have not been too great. Maybe because the position of Elite Wolves has been really good, or maybe because he just hasn't been able to get good burst strikes. Regardless, he hasn't had the impact that Night Stalker, for example, had simply with Darkness and Pipe, which is already a big deal. A Night Stalker that actually didn't even go for the vision, but actually decided to go for utility items instead, and it's working wonders for his team.
Yeah, that's true. What also is a big problem for a Wheel playing in the late game against Morphling. It's a terrible idea. Don't you think so?
Yeah, oh, E-Blade. Wow, evaded. Maddening. That was good. I mean, it's a slow projectile, but it was still pretty good. That could have murdered you. Anyway, yeah, you don't. I mean, there's not. What options do you want to really do against the Morphling? You try to go for the mid game, or you try to hope that the late game they'll mess up or something. It's just there's never a right choice here. You went for a build-up and you hoped would get a bit more impact coming as the game progressed, but instead, E-Wolves managed to come back, and you weren't really expecting that either. Alright, let's see. We see the puck finally making it out there alive. Could have been a big deal there. In comes Sand King, stunned out, goes on to the Night Stalker. He has Lincolns, but he should be fine. Turns the TP away. There's the Rupture, finds the Dazzle. Masoku saw a Shallow Grip. Can he TP in time? Can even Glimmer Cape himself, so that means that's an easy Water Sponge. Vacuum everyone to the high ground, to the low ground, and though Masoku dies again, yeah, like he says, that space created because the Morphling all this time keeps on farming and trying to take the tower down. Papita goes in, he's been rooted. That Rod of Eight is so annoying. Papita has still Dream Coil, still Yule Scepter as well, surged up, and they don't have a Rupture to stop him. Ice Shards will catch a Yule Scepter, will not save him. Oh, actually, those Europa's Phase Shift. Papita, the god of pucks, calmly walks away out of that without losing much, while the Morphling continues to push this tower down. Manta style available on him, so he's already starting to take these structures. As Papita in the mid lane gets a Dream Coil onto 2. There's Annihilate with a Blade Mill, Vacuum's Wall Replica. The Blood Red as well. They might catch his blood, this Darkseer, and he's gonna lose his life as Annihilate walks in, tries to kill Stinger. Annihilate still with a Mjolnir, though, a very dangerous topic. And Morphling actually destroys Derptum in just 2 attacks, continues to attack these racks. Is he gonna be able to do it in time? Yes, he will! And he doesn't even care about the enemy team, who's now trying to TP back, but they're not able to in time. Well, Shaq is now destroying anyone who walks into his territory. He still has the E-Blade, he still has the Adapt to Strike. He's actually going for some tier 4s because he can't push anything anymore. Shaq, come on. Trying to take at least 1 just for kicks, just for the extra gold, and Shaq will not be hit by the Reaper Sights just yet. Shaq continues to push. There's no more TPs. This Morphling is doing it in time, and nobody can stop Shaq right now. Dota 2 can't actually stop this force of water, and they force the TP in time while the Replicant forced him to go back. Nobody can stop Shaq or punish him for his mistakes, and Wheel is unable to stop this amazing push that they got. Now both side lanes are taken down. Screw the mid tier. They actually took the tier 4s already.
That's the problem for them. Even as soon as they will start pushing, there are always going to be Morphling who can keep replicated his base, yeah, and go for not even a suicidal push, because with his Lincoln Sphere, nothing can really kill him unless Will commit at least 2 people. But even 2, unless it's some kind of a Bloodseeker. Even with the Bloodseeker, they need to commit the whole team to kill Morphling now, especially when he will pick up Eye of Skadi. His illusions and he himself will be insanely tanky, and that soon we'll be like, okay, we won the team fight, probably we want to go push us 5. No, that's a bad idea, because Morphling will destroy your throne fairly fast. You get an insane right click now. Oh, meanwhile, Rupture, yet he simply replicates away.
And Papita just won here, at least to fight. There's a darkness, so you don't want to fight in the middle of that. They have an advantage in terms of vision. Vacuum Wall Replica won't come in time. Papita silencing the Bloodseeker. There's a Vacuum Wall Replica. Dream Coil onto 4. The Burst Strike actually goes against them as the Burst Strike stuns everyone out. Blood Right to force everyone out of this circle. And now they go into Stinger. The Snowball might find Masoku. They want to kill this Dazzle before he can cure anyone up. Papita's still dealing a lot of damage. Shallow Grip used a bit too soon. Papita actually walks away this unscathed. And Masoku will be the only sacrifice once again. But in comes the Morphling. Shotguns the Bloodseeker in the back. And Stinger's fighting against through, but that Lotus Orb did not work too in favor of Dota 2. Here comes Shaq, but he does get hurt by the Poison Nova. Starts trying to morph away. The Snowball catches him. They actually go onto him. They punch him in the face, and this poor Morphling will lose his life as a Wheel take that kill onto the enemy carry, losing their Bloodseeker, but in turn, I mean, they might even lose their other laner Rax. Those creeps are doing a lot of damage. However, killing the Morphling is so very important.
Yeah, but the problem is that they can't really push anymore. Plus, Puck and Doxia dealing with push fairly easily, and now Will are stuck in their base. And the worst part for them, that they go out, they're getting split pushed. They're not killing Morphling in the fight, he TPs and pushes his base. And they just can't really farm out. Yeah, I understand that's very convenient that the creeps are going themselves to your base and you're free to farm as much as you want. But your throne now is bare. Any kind of an unsuccessful teamfight, BOTs, or a simple replica, which was hidden just in time in the opponent's base. And as a result, that's that throne and the GG. We'll see. Maybe they will find some kind of a solution for this, because the last teamfight was kind of a successful, even though they lost the Annihilate. If they will pick a time that there will be no replica from Morphling, or he won't be able to join the fight as soon as possible, the fight will be in favor of Will, and maybe they can take Rax after that. But Morphling won't even bother defending his base if he can just draw all the attention from Will while splitting the throne in the same time. And he is much better in splitting as one hero.
Careful, Papita. I think he evaded the wrong spell there. The shotgun hits Necrophos. In goes Minos. He wants to kill someone. There's a vacuum again. Wall replica. The rupture doesn't really matter because it's Dream Call into 3. They need to kill the 2 enough. But that, oh, what a great shallow grave to save Minos. Minos just starts hitting everyone with a waveform. He actually destroys the poor Venomancer. And now going to more. He's surviving all this damage because he morphed all of his agility into strength. They kill 2. The GG comes out. Wheel can't deal with the Peruvian menace. And even though they do kill everyone with that amazing sandstorm by Madman, they will give up on this game number 2, giving Elite Wolves the win and allowing this to go to a 3rd game where everything is on the line. Wheel and Elite Wolves will be fighting for that spot to remain in the winners brackets.
Well, that was a very tough game, and finally we're going for the 3rd one. Who's going to be stronger, Wheel or Elite Wolves? We'll see in the game 3.
Yep, we'll see you very soon, guys. Hope you've enjoyed the game, and of course, hope you've enjoyed the cast. My name has been DSwordfish here, and I've been with Vätte Dota. Feel free to follow us on Twitter at the respective names, at DSwordfish and at Vätte Dota. We'll put the links in the description. Of course, we've been here on the ProDota Cup American version sponsored by XBet, so do check out our sponsor if you do enjoy betting, and if you don't, you know, maybe you enjoy it with XBet. Who knows? You get 100 euros free if you use Bounty X, so that might be the reason. Anyway, guys, we'll be back soon with game number 3 between Elite Wolves and Wheel. Let's see who can continue the winners brackets and who's going to be going down to fight against Big Fan in the losers. See you guys soon, and enjoy some tunes while we wait.